Hello, this is Scott from Telecoms.com here at Network X 2025, and I'm delighted to be speaking to Mik from Plume. So Mik, I gather you're relatively new to this job. Can you tell us what attracted you to Plume and maybe what surprised you most in your first few months here?
Absolutely. The team really attracted me and surprised me. Our new CEO, Dan, reached out to me about creating a culture of ongoing innovation. And when I met Chris Griffiths, our CTO, and the team, it's clear to me that they're very committed to having this as an ingrained part of their culture going forwards. So I'm really excited to be joining the team. I joined from Ubiety, a small tech startup, and then before that, NASA, where I built Internet of Things solutions, and also kind of applied AI systems. And so I'm an innovator at heart.
Yeah.
Chris and Dan bring sort of that track record of delivering at an enterprise grade. And so we want to deliver at an enterprise grade, but we want to innovate at the speed of a startup as well. So I'm really excited to be joining the fray.
Yeah, and that's a tricky thing to do in combination, those two things. So can you tell us a little bit more about what Plume's doing to help communication service providers to innovate more?
Oh, absolutely. So you've seen probably in some of our recent headlines, we had originally forced everybody to work through OpenSync. We like OpenSync. When we created cloud managed Wi-Fi, it was a great platform for us to help people enable. But in order to innovate even faster than that, we've actually opened up our ecosystem significantly. So we don't force anyone to use OpenSync anymore. We've just announced we're going to be allowing anyone to bring, whether it's Purple, whether it's OpenWRT, RDKB, your own flavors, anybody can come to the party. We're going to integrate with everything. We've joined the Wi-Fi Alliance. We've joined WBA. We've joined Purple Foundation, announced that just this week. We've also joined RDKB as the highest level of membership. And we're not just going to be passive on these communities, right? We're going to actively communicate, we're going to actively participate and contribute the industry leadership into all of these, because we believe when we allow service providers to come in and innovate with us, we're going to be able to innovate a lot more quicker and build something that people actually want, right?
Yeah.
Brings me to my other point there, which is, we're actually listening to our customers. If you have new ideas as a service provider of something that you want to see, please bring those to us because we want to help realize those things as well.
Yeah, and I think it's great that there seems to be such a vibrant sort of developer and collaboration options within this sort of, I guess, domestic connectivity world. And it certainly makes sense what you said for you to be as part of as many of them as possible. And so on that note, I was just wondering whether, together with balancing the needs of your CSP customers, how you also help them innovate in terms of like service delivery.
That's a good point. You might call me naive as a newcomer to the industry, but I actually believe we don't have to balance between a service provider's ability to deliver a service and a consumer's experience, right?
Yeah.
I believe a rising tide lifts all ships. When we build new services, enable new capabilities that haven't existed in the past, we're not only going to be able to build things for service providers that allow them to build those and deliver those delightful, exciting experiences, but of course those are going to flow through to the end consumer as well. So I hope that we get to do both at the same time.
And I thought it was interesting what you said about your past in NASA, working with AI and that sort of thing. And I think your bio speaks of responsible AI, which I think an important nuance. How do some of those concepts apply to what we're talking about today with like connectivity in the domestic environment?
I love the question. Since you mentioned it, I've been in AI for decades now, since before generative AI was a thing. And responsible AI, especially today, is critically important. It starts internally with the way that we inside Plume consume AI. So as an example, our developers that are using generative AI to speed up code development, we're not letting the AI write our code. We're pair programming with the AI, and we're subjecting the AI to the same kind of review processes that we would subject a new hire to, right? We're not going to ship code that we don't ourselves understand. So that's kind of one of them. The other one is just the basics. We don't want our data to be leaking on the benefit of somebody else's AI. We don't want our data to be leaking to benefit somebody else's model, right? Or the LLM. And so building privacy in from the ground up. But it's not just internally how we consume it, it's also externally. I'm a firm believer, you don't just slap AI on something to say that we do AI. AI has to be custom deployed towards a very specific use case where it actually provides incremental value, where it can solve a problem that we couldn't solve before. And so these are the ways that we're trying to apply AI. Two examples I have, one of them is in our Adapt service, which is basically our Wi-Fi optimizer and self-healing IP that we developed. We're building machine learning models into this solution so that networks can optimize themselves, very quickly understand if something is going down and bring it back up, a lot of times without alerting a consumer and avoiding a call to care. So that's on the Adapt side. And then on Guard, which is our cybersecurity offering and suite of tools, we're also deploying machine learning to help profile what types of devices are connected to your network, what applications these devices are running, and that allows us to create custom, either hyper-personalized experiences for the people using the devices, or for on a device-by-device basis, we can apply basically a specific set of policies that those devices are allowed versus not allowed. And if one of these devices that I've just purchased from Amazon or somewhere else suddenly starts behaving in a way that's very different from how it has behaved in the past, we can notice that and proactively alert it and shut it down.
Yeah, well, and just to finish off, just looking to the future, both in terms of from a Plume perspective and more generally, what are you looking forward to in terms of sort of evolution of connectivity?
So I mentioned generative AI. I love generative AI. It is, I think, one of the most powerful technologies released during our generation. I would put it with the internet, the iPhone, and generative AI. And we really still are just scratching the surface of what it's going to be able to do. However, to avoid falling into the traps of rolling out solutions too quickly, we have been very intentional about how we're baking generative AI into our products so that we can deliver at enterprise grade. And so I can't talk about the specifics of the generative AI stuff we're working on, but in the next year or two, we have some really powerful things that are coming to market that just watch for those in the next couple of quarters. Beyond that, I've always had a special place in my heart for Internet of Things. And this whole smart home initiative, I've been so annoyed with the industry because we have not landed smart home. We really haven't.
It's been a slow burn.
Well, we're still in like digital butler phase almost.
Right.
It's not actually smart. And so for me, I believe once you have full visibility of what's happening behind the gateway and full control over what's happening behind the gateway, we actually can layer a nice orchestration component in there to help make that smart home experience actually intelligent. And then of course on the floor, I see Wi-Fi 7 everywhere, I see Wi-Fi 8 everywhere. These new protocols are something I'm really excited about because not only are they pushing speed, which is commonplace, right? I think it's commoditized at this point. They're also pushing functionality and connectivity, things like quality of service, quality of experience. And so for us as Plume, we're really excited to start layering those value-added services on top of the basic connectivities to take the whole experience into the next generation.
Okay, that's brilliant. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.